Rook, do you have a minute?
Of course. Something wrong?
Thea wants to meet.
Any day you spend with the 7th Talon is a good day.
She wants to plan Caterina's funeral.
Oh. Right.
If you don't mind, I could use some backup. In case Spike gets out of hand.
Let's not keep Taya waiting.
Good, you're here.
Thank you for making the arrangements, Thea.
For Caterina? How could I do otherwise? I'm so sorry, Lucanis. This must be such a blow. Rook, thank you for coming with him. I need Juan de la Muerte to plan this. His cousin has been no help at all.
I'm sorry, Thea. This is just too much right now.
If there's anything I can do, just say the word.
You're always such a dear. You certainly didn't learn that from Viago.
Thea, don't flirt with my colleague.
Jealous? Fine. To business, then. There's a lot to plan. But first, I need the ashes.
Ashes?
Make it help us. Yes, the ashes. Caterina's ashes. From the cremation?
Oh, yes, of course. I'll get them to you right away.
Ilario, what happened?
What do you mean?
Caterina, how? How did the Venatori get to her? When? Where? In the estate? In the city? How did they get past our people? What did they use? Poison? Blades? I need to know.
Cousin, stop. You can't dwell on this. It'll drive you mad.
I'm not dwelling. Zara killed the first Talon. I have to know how if I'm going to stop her.
I told you, I'm handling it.
Boys, enough of this. We have other things to discuss.
My apologies, Andrea. Continue without me. I'll get you the ashes.
Something's going on with him. I don't know what.
When he's not on the job, my cousin always has his head in the clouds.
Hilario can be a handful. But this? The only time I've seen him like this was when Lucanis died. You're worrying, aren't you? What will people say if they hear the demon of Virantium has a big, soft heart?
He's been careless at times, but never when his own life was on the line. Zara took down the first Talon. Anyone could be next, and my cousin doesn't want to think about it?
You have a point. It's not like Hilario to ignore a knife coming at him.
What do you need from me for the funeral?
Come. I'll get us some drinks, and we can make the arrangements.
Our house owes you for handling all of this.
Caterina was family. Can you imagine what she'd say if she saw us all like this?
She'd be furious, especially at Hilario, as usual.
I barely know your cousin, and he already seems like trouble to me.
Oh, he is. I've lost count of the times I've had to pull him out of the fire on the job.
He's a good assassin. Most jobs don't have as many fires as yours do. I'll have my people keep an eye on him for you.
Thank you, Thea.
Go on. I'll let you know if something comes up.
Occupied. The insult of it.
It's more than insulting.
It's salt in the wound. And that is my purview.
I could have daggers in 100 necks by nightfall.
No doubt. But more necks would present themselves tomorrow.
I have other daggers.
Am I interrupting?
You're a crow. And a deriva. You're expected. Forgive Thea. You know how she gets when a contract is delayed.
You're apologizing for her. Strange days.
On that, we would agree. And perhaps more.
You want help against the gods. We want Treviso free. We now think they may be the same problem. The occupation has a face. The Ataam commander, Keith Lord butchered Dathrata. But Viago thinks killing him outright is short-sighted.
The butcher took the city suspiciously fast. Removing him is useless if someone else can repeat that, with the help of gods or something else. We all know assassination is not really about killing. It's about sending a message.
And what message would that be?
The crows rule Antiva, and Treviso will be free.
Butcher Dathrata. What do you know about him?
The Ataam army fractured, split among warlords, and he seems to have kept the most traditional discipline. and the rank and file like it. His numbers keep growing, but the butcher himself is odd.
Odd how?
He gives daily speeches about how the occupation is somehow merciful. And the way he talks, it's familiar. It's like he thinks he belongs here. And I won't have it.
Sounds like you think the occupation wasn't just about force.
Cruel as the butcher is, he didn't break the city with a siege. It was sudden and complete.
Like he had it all mapped. Where to march and what to close off to choke resistance.
He had inside information? Spies?
He had something.
And until we know what it was, killing him isn't the contract.
We Crows are all the army Antiva has, but it's not like we can field a garrison. Outside support?
The king would say to call on us. The price for being patriots.
Gods care about taking Treviso.
The butcher wants Treviso. The gods may just want the Ataam.
But Ataam distrusts magic and outright fear demons. They should be enemies.
Power can turn anyone against their own interests, their own people.
So we send a message from the Crows. What's our first step?
We have a scout named Dareth. He said he was onto something the butcher was hiding.
He was in the Drown district, so that's a place to start. Find our crow and help with his contract.
Help a fellow Crow? Then what?
We break this occupation. We craft the message one step at a time.
And when we finally assassinate the person who leashed Treviso, that death will tell everyone. The Crows rule Antiva, and Treviso will be free. I've noted the location of Dareth and his cousin, Jacobus, in the Drown district. They're always together. Jacobus will be eager to help, perhaps too eager for one so young.
Can you blame him? We've all lost too much to this occupation.
There's the place. Keep your eyes open. We may not be the only ones interested.
He was my cousin!
Don't worry. Taya and Viago sent us.
You with Lucanus? Yes! Kill them! Kill the Ataam!
Nice move!
That's done. Are you Jacobus?
Dareth, my cousin. They... Please, you have to finish Dareth's contract. It's about the butcher. My cousin was going to spy on the butcher. He told me we'd pick up the contract from a dead drop. But then... someone has to finish this for Dareth. Please.
We will take care of it. Go back to the diamond.
I will, just give me a minute.
I'm glad the market's still open during occupation. It probably helps to feel that some things are still the same.
Not even an army stops the Treviso market.
I've always loved market days, except for when they're occupied by Ataam.
I meant to pick up more spices. Another time. You cannot help but flinch whenever I use my skills. You think, this time he's definitely gone full demon.
It's not personal.
If you're watching me in battle, you leave yourself open to our actual enemies.
The power of the demon-possessed assassin should make up for how twitchy everyone else gets, right?
This is where the marks lead. Dareth's contract must be here somewhere. The butcher is making poison. Comic.
The poison that destroys your mind? That comic?
If I were the butcher, it'd be a good way to keep people in line.
We cannot let the butcher unleash this on Treviso.
He won't. The Ataam brought in a comic master to mix the poison. He's at the garrison. We stop him there before this goes any further.
Crows fight us for Treviso, that is true. We respect the fight and the prize.
We're in. Let's find the comic master.
You've been on this contract from the beginning, right?
I guess so.
What's your assessment of the targets?
Honestly, anybody the Venatori get excited about is trouble.
That's the truth.
See that? Bad guys.
This place is forbidden!
We cannot forbid the crows!
They have no role. They do not exist. Choose to exist. I can smell you, an outsider. Time to test my gift. I am will made flesh. So much flesh. Finally, the fight the Butcher denied has come to me. I will prove my worth.
The crows are here to end your threat. Poison up.
Poison? No. You face the gift of the gods!
It's done. The Coming Master's dead.
Good. That's good.
First things first. Let's destroy the rest of the poison. Then we figure out what was going on here. That's the last of the poison, thankfully. Let's look for anything else that explains what's happening. Wait. This note says that wasn't all the Kamek. The Butcher's angry because some went missing.
What? Who stole it?
No idea. But the note does mention the Butcher's inside traitor. The occupation had help. Taya and Viago need to know they were right.
Are you out of your minds?
Someone had to act.
They most certainly did not. I told you crows to stay out of this.
Out of what? Defending our home?
If we had a stronger civil government instead of a bunch of circus criminals, the Ataam wouldn't have a foothold in the first place.
Circus is charge admission. We did all that for free.
This is Governor Evenchi. They have concerns.
My concern is how you've endangered the city.
We're defending Antiva.
These protections are in place for the good of everyone. You act without oversight.
We crows are the oversight.
And yet, here we are, awash in Ataam. And now, you've angered the Butcher.
There's also the gods.
Excuse me?
They're using the Ataam and making them monsters.
And the Butcher?
You two are right. He had help taking the city. Human traitors.
I didn't want to believe it. Killing the Butcher does nothing if someone could just sell us out again.
I'd start right here. You Talons are known for infighting and betrayal.
I've had about enough. A fellow crow died for this contract.
That's enough. Rook, thank you for finishing that contract. The only reward we have is to ask you for more.
It's my home too.
Evenchi is right about one thing. The Butcher will not like that we're fighting back.
We need to be ready. Rook, I will have every crow tracking this traitor and the gods, and we will send word when we find something.
The stakes are too high. This should be left to proper officials.
Go back to filing trade receipts, Evenchi. The crows rule Antiva.
And Treviso will be free. With or without you, Governor.